facts. My name is Prachi. Cats have 5 toes on their front paws, but only 4 toes on their back paws. And this is a video featuring all of my June and July empties during my no-buy year. Right, lads, I just finished filming the get ready with me that I had in my last video. I threw on a scarf so that you guys wouldn't get bored of seeing me in the exact same outfit, and I have a whole bunch of empties to get through. Part of it might be because I just didn't film one at the end of June, so this is like 2 months of empties building up, but I think it's also that I'm hitting the point in my no-buy year where I'm actually using stuff up, and some of the big ticket items in my skincare routine have finally kicked the bucket. So I'm not going to dawdle any longer. Without any further ado, let's get it. So there are a lot of skincare big guns that kicked it during the month of June and July, so I figured I should start with the biggest gun. What I'm talking about is this bad boy right here. This is the Drunk Elephant C-Firma Day Serum. I actually want to do this one first because I want to give a little bit more of an in-depth review for this than I will for any of the other things. And the reason why I want to do that is because this is a very, very expensive product. It costs over $100 Canadian. And so I want to make sure I'm very clear on whether I think this product is worth it or not. Now, I know some of you watching my videos right now might think like, why should I trust you, Prachi, on the subject of skincare? Because most of the time I'm talking about makeup. And I get it, truly I do, because I actually don't trust the vast majority of influencers, particularly makeup influencers, when it comes to skincare. However, the reason why I think what I have to say might be of use to you is because although I haven't talked about it a lot on my channel, my passion for skincare actually far outweighs my passion for makeup. However much makeup you think I own a lot more skincare. And that's in large part because my love of skincare actually predates my love of makeup. I first got into skincare right after one of my Korean friends in high school introduced me to K-pop. The year was 2010. I was a fresh 16 years old. I didn't get into makeup until the end of 2011, the start of 2012, when I turned 18. And as much as I've spent a lot of time and energy thinking about makeup, I have spent a lot more time thinking about and researching and looking up skincare. I'm a person who's had problematic skin for the vast majority of her life, and I'm a person who believes in skincare first and foremost, with makeup as an added fun, creative bonus. My obsession with skincare is one of the reasons why my no-buy is not just a makeup no-buy. It's a comprehensive beauty no-buy that includes skincare and hair care. So what you're about to get from me right here, right now, is not some like noob who's never used vitamin C serums before in her life giving you a reaction. You're actually about to get a mini review of the Drunk Elephant vitamin C serum from a person who knows a hell of a lot about skincare and who has been using vitamin C serums on and off for over 6 years now. So keeping that in mind, let's get into this. For those of you who don't know a lot about skincare or have never really used vitamin C products before, there are a whole bunch of different benefits to using vitamin C products. The version of vitamin C that our skin can start using directly is called ascorbic acid or L-ascorbic acid. However, there are a lot of vitamin C products out there on the market that don't contain L-ascorbic acid, and that's because as beautifully effective and good for your skin as L-ascorbic acid is, it's also highly unstable. L-ascorbic acid loves reacting with water, especially in the presence of either light or heat, and consequently any serum containing L-ascorbic acid in it will oxidize into like a dark orangey brown color over the span of a few short months. Because of that, a lot of different companies will use derivatives of vitamin C, which are much more stable than L-ascorbic acid, but a little bit less effective than L-ascorbic acid. Because with all of those vitamin C derivatives like THD, ascorbyl glucoside, etc., they end up having to be converted by your skin into L-ascorbic acid that it can then use. One of the great selling points of this Drunk Elephant serum is that it gives you vitamin C in its purest form, L-ascorbic acid. And it doesn't just give you 5 or 10%, it gives you 15%, which is a high enough dose that within like 2 to 3 weeks of you using it, you should already begin to see a marked effect in the overall radiance and glow of your skin. And here's the thing about this C-Firma Day Serum. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and tell you that this did a garbage job. Because actually, for the first 3 months that I used this for, this kept my skin radiant and glowing. The L-ascorbic acid that was in this absolutely did its job. It helped my acne heal faster, it made sure that all of the scarring faded away, and it gave my skin a very beautiful glow. But and this is important, I've used a bunch of other vitamin C serums that do not cost near as much money as this that have also done the exact same thing for my skin. And so I know it's not actually like Drunk Elephant's amazing formulation or capability that's super special and is somehow giving me radiant glowing skin. It's actually just the 15% L-ascorbic acid. And one of the major like selling points of this serum is that it's packaged in this like airtight container that's like protected from light and heat, and therefore the vitamin C oxidizes so much slower than other vitamin C serums. But I actually didn't really find that claim to be very true, because although the bottles say that they're good for 6 months, after just 3 months of using the serum, I found that the color was noticeably much darker than when I had first got it. When I had first gotten it, it was a very, very pale yellowy gold. By month 3, we were entering orange territory. And I, by the way, am not a person who like leaves my skincare in the bathroom or up on a counter exposed to sunlight, heat, or humidity. All of my skincare is stored in cool, dark, and dry places. The fatal flaw of this Drunk Elephant C-Firma serum is the fact that this is a water-based serum. And the unfortunate thing about vitamin C is no matter how well you protect it from light or heat, just merely the presence of water causes it to break down. That's why there are a lot of companies out there who, if they insist on using L-ascorbic acid in a serum, will put it in a solution free of water. The Ordinary, for example, has a 15% L-ascorbic acid serum that I believe is dissolved not in water but in propanediol, which ensures that the L-ascorbic acid remains stable for a much longer time than any of the water-based serums like this Drunk Elephant one. And here's the thing about liquids like propanediol. They do leave a very slightly oily feeling onto the skin when you first put them on. It takes a little bit of time for them to sink in and not feel greasy. And that's actually why a lot of people, like the famous skincare YouTuber Gothamista, for example, do prefer water-based vitamin C serums over non-water-based vitamin C serums, because water-based serums aren't oily. They just sink right in. However, this Drunk Elephant serum contains a whole bunch of different plant oils. Like I think there's marula oil and a bunch of other stuff in here. And so actually, even though this is a water-based serum, it feels oily. It's actually a very hefty, thick serum that if I tried to use in the summer right now would probably end up being a little bit too much for my skin. And that's what really actually bothers and baffles me about this product, because it seems to have water included in its formulation for no reason at all, other than to just make the vitamin C expire a hell of a lot faster. If you enjoy the way that this feels almost like oily on your skin, you'd actually probably enjoy and benefit from using a vitamin C serum that's completely without water, because it would give you greater stability than this and the same sort of thicker, rich in oil feel. If the thought of an oilyish serum sounds like a nightmare to you, this is absolutely not what I would recommend in terms of trying out a vitamin C. I would recommend other water-based vitamin C serums, most of which are a hell of a lot cheaper than this one. Like, I've used 3 other very well formulated water-based vitamin C serums, one from the company SoulCeuticals, the other from the company Timeless, and another one from the company May Love called the May Love Glow Maker. And I would wholeheartedly recommend all 3 of those water-based serums over this one. They're all much cheaper than this. They have roughly the same lifespan in terms of stability, and they in fact feel a lot lighter on your skin than this. I know a lot of influencers go crazy over this Drunk Elephant vitamin C serum, and my suspicion for that is it's because a lot of them have never used any vitamin C serum in their life before. If you've never used a solid vitamin C serum before, then 15% L-ascorbic acid stabilized with vitamin E and ferulic acid is gonna be transformative for your skin. It's truly gonna do wonders. It doesn't have to be from Drunk Elephant. It doesn't have to cost you over 100 Canadian dollars. Even though the bottles started to really deteriorate in quality, and I suspect that the vast majority of the L-ascorbic acid had already expired by around the 3rd month, I used this all the way up for the full 6 months till I hit the very end, because I had spent an insane amount of money on it and I was not about to let that go to waste. If you have money to burn and dry skin, go ahead and get this vitamin C serum. If you have money to burn and oily combination skin, this is gonna be way too heavy and kind of almost sticky feeling on your skin. If you're excited by how everybody talks up the praises of this Drunk Elephant serum and you wanna see the amazing results like everyone is having, I would strongly recommend you not waste your money on this. Because as a person who's used a lot of different vitamin C serums from a lot of different companies, I can tell you that this in no way, shape, or form stands out above the rest. I'm actually going to link in the cards the YouTuber Gothamista's L-ascorbic acid faves for anyone who's looking to get into vitamin C and who maybe doesn't want to spend an arm and a leg. Okay, I spent like 50,000 years talking about that product. I just felt like it was really important to like truly give a full-on review of that because it's so expensive, and I feel like getting like legitimate reviews of that product is very, very difficult when Drunk Elephant sends out PR packages to influencers who've like never ever used proper skincare before in their life. So let's discuss my other empties. I follow like a multi-step routine in both the morning and the night, and the first step in my nighttime routine is an oil cleanser to break down and remove my makeup, and that emulsifies with water. This was one that I bought from the Face Shop. It's called the Real Blend Deep Cleansing Oil. It cost me, I think, like 20 or 22 Canadian dollars, and it was a very beautiful bottle because there was actually like a really pretty plant on the inside. Like this just, it was aesthetically very beautiful, and most importantly, it was a kick-ass cleansing oil. It broke down all of my makeup, mascara and lipstick included. It emulsified very, very easily, and it actually didn't even leave a residue. Did I always use a foam cleanser afterwards anyway? Yeah, I did. But this was amazing, and given the opportunity, I would actually repurchase it. However, that's not necessary right now because I do still have like a couple other oil or balm cleansers in the house. One of which is this sample of the cult product, the Heimish All Clean Balm. So this is actually a cleansing balm, which means it's like a solid balm that you scoop out, rub and melt into your hands, and then put all over your face to melt off makeup before adding some water, emulsifying, and then rinsing it all off. In terms of like makeup removal, functioning as a first cleanse, breakdown, all of that kind of stuff, this was amazing. Like, I definitely get the hype. However, just using up this tiny sample made me realize that I think I much prefer cleansing oils to cleansing balms, purely just in terms of hygiene. Because, for example, the very first night that I used this, I didn't actually get enough the first time around. And then I had hands that were already all oiled up with like foundation and eyeliner in there, and I had to like reach back in with my grimy fingers to get more of the product out. And I was fine with doing that with this because this only lasted me like 3 or 4 days. But the thought of having to do that with like a huge thing of balm and the possible like contamination and all that kind of stuff, it just kind of squeaked me out. If you're a person who likes cleansing balms, this Heimish All Clean Balm, like I see what the hype is about. I see why everyone loves this. I see why it's like a cult favorite first cleanse, but I think I've just realized that me personally, I prefer cleansing oils to cleansing balms. All right, let's discuss 2 moisturizers that kicked the bucket this month. The first one is a Cerave PM Facial Moisturizing Lotion. So this is actually best for people with normal to oily skin. If you have normal to oily skin and you are just looking for like a solid, good nighttime moisturizer, something that's gonna like make sure that your skin barrier is solid and well protected and it's not gonna like irritate you at all, this is what I would highly recommend. Because not only does this contain ceramides, which is a component of your skin's own natural like lipid barrier, this also contains hyaluronic acid, which is a humectant that traps moisture from the air around it to plump up your own skin. It also contains niacinamide, which is basically vitamin B3, and it's excellent at balancing out your skin and actually boosting collagen production. So me, a person who in the summer I have combination to oily skin, this is actually my preferred nighttime moisturizer. Unfortunately, I have like a gajillion other nighttime moisturizers, so even though it's run out, I can't repurchase it. I gotta use up all of the other stuff first. But whenever people ask me like, hey, what's a good nighttime moisturizer at the drugstore that's not gonna irritate my skin, but is still gonna give it like really good ingredients that it needs, Cerave PM, that's the one. The second one is this small sample of the Belif True Cream Aqua Balm. So Belif has the Aqua Balm and the Moisture Balm. The Moisture Balm has a traditional cream texture. Aqua Balm actually has a gel texture. I actually have the full size of this moisturizer as well, and it's what I'm currently using as my nighttime moisturizer and my daytime moisturizer if my skin is feeling extra parched. I like it a lot. However, Belif is very, very expensive. And in fact, the company Neutrogena created the Hydra Boost Gel Cream that's fragrance free, which this Belif one isn't. There are like natural ingredients in it that give it some sort of a fragrance, which can be irritating to people who have really, really sensitive skin. Like, it doesn't matter whether a fragrance is natural or synthetic, whether it's from essential oils or from like molecules built in a lab. All of that stuff can be really irritating if you have a compromised skin barrier or really sensitive skin just generally. All of which is to say that I like this and I enjoy using this. I don't know that I would purchase it given that there is an alternative from Neutrogena available that has almost the identical beautiful light gel cream texture, and it contains hyaluronic acid to really just boost the hydration of your skin. And that's because I'm a broke student. Maybe one day in the future when I'm like financially secure, I will think this is like worth the price, but student me who like bought the Belif Aqua Balm one time as a treat for myself cannot realistically be using that as her everyday moisturizer and just replacing it all the time. Next up, let's discuss this product from The Ordinary. This is the Ordinary Caffeine Solution 5% plus EGCG. And it's basically supposed to be like a serum that you're supposed to use in your under eye area. It's supposed to reduce like dark circles and puffiness. I hated this. This was not it. Like, it was weirdly sticky. I felt like I could never get the stickiness to go away. I also didn't feel like it did anything. Maybe that's because I don't have puffy enough eyes to have seen an effect. The Ordinary has many amazing and incredible products like the 15% L-ascorbic acid that I was talking about before. This is not one of them. This was an absolute struggle to use up. Never again. Next up, let's discuss this Drunk Elephant Beste No. 9 Jelly Cleanser. This was part of the Sephora birthday present for this year. My birthday's in January. It's actually like right at the start of January. So I was one of the first groups of people to get the birthday present, and like hell was I choosing the gift set from Kat Von Diphtheria. So I instead picked the Drunk Elephant set, used this all the way up. I think this was a good cleanser. I think this was fine. I also don't think this was any different than any other gel cleansers that I've used in my life, most of which have been from the drugstore, and consequently, I absolutely don't believe that it's worth its exorbitant price. I don't need crazy bells and whistles for my cleanser, I just need a cleanser to do its bare bones job. So great while it lasted, but no different from a lot of gel cleansers you can buy like at your average drugstore. I have the same exact commentary to give for another one of my Empties, which is a sample of this Glow Recipe Blueberry Bounce cleanser. Like the Drunk Elephant one, it too was a gel cleanser. It foamed up very nicely. It had a beautiful, amazing blueberry scent. However, I own the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Gel Cleanser, and I'm here to tell you that there is literally not a difference between the way that feels on my skin and these two things feel on my skin. Neither the Glow Recipe nor the Drunk Elephant cleansers are worth the price tag, in my opinion. And as I have already intimated, I still have a bunch of other first cleansers in my house, and I have no need to repurchase anything at this time. Now I'm gonna address these like two tiny samples from Clarins. They're these like body creams. So one is the Bodyfit Anti-Cellulite Contouring Expert, lol, and then the other is the Body Shaping Cream, which targets stubborn fat, firms, and redefines. These were like really, really tiny samples. I don't believe that there are any creams that can actually like firm and tighten your skin. I also did not use them to that effect. And one of the two of these, I think, yeah, it's this one. It's this red one, the Bodyfit Anti-Cellulite Contouring Expert. It smells horrible, guys. It has this really like gross, cough syrupy medicinal smell. Like, I absolutely hated it. And almost every single lotion I have ever used from the drugstore far outperforms all of these. Especially this one. It smells so bad. Alright, next up, let's discuss two Empties, which aren't really Empties. I'm just gonna mention them because I'm about to pass them on to my mom. There are a couple like fragrance samples from Sephora. The both of them are actually from the company Atelier Cologne, which makes one of my favorite vanilla-based scents of all times, Vanille Insensé. So I had gotten these two fragrance samples thinking that they would be like great for the summer. One is the fragrance Pacific Lime, and then the other is Oolang INF. I can't remember what it's probably like Oolang Infinite or Infini or something like that. I really dislike both of these fragrances. First off, let's discuss Pacific Lime. My critique of Pacific Lime is that it smells like something out of Bath and Body Works. And That's fine. I don't have a problem with that, except for the fact that the Atelier colognes are like exorbitantly priced. I think the smallest size of this is either 125 or 175 Canadian dollars. Paying that amount of money for something that smells like it came out of Bath and Body Works? No. Additionally, this is like a very, very sweet lime scent. This isn't a tart lime. This is like key lime pie with the sugar turned up like 5, 6, 7 notches. And on my own skin, I found that like after about 30 minutes, I just could not stand it anymore. It was so strong, so sugary, syrupy sweet, so cloying, I like had to take it off. So what I'm doing is I'm giving this to my mom because she actually decently enjoys the smell of this and she wants like a perfume that she can throw in her purse that she can use in case she ever like runs out of the house without a perfume. So this is going to her, as is actually this one, which she's undecided on whether she wants to keep this or not, but I'm passing it on to her so that she can make the ultimate decision. So this is the Oolang Infini, and I had gotten it because on paper it smelled like the perfect tea fragrance. Something in this, however, did not agree with my skin. And what should have been like a beautiful, well-rounded, rich tea scent ended up being overwhelmingly smoky, and not in like a fun, sexy way. I ended up smelling like an ashtray, and not like a high-class ashtray, like the one that like, you know, the ashes of Cuban cigars smoked by like really rich people go in. I ended up smelling like the ashtray of like a really seedy bar in the 1980s, frequented only by like racist and homophobic police officers who chain smoke the cheapest corner store cigarettes. Like, this is not it. It's a definite no for me personally. So long, Oolang. Oh, that was so bad. I hate myself for that so much. Okay, so next up, I actually have 2 BHA chemical exfoliants from Paula's Choice. I did not actually empty these out this month. As you can see from the state of complete and utter disarray behind me, I'm moving. And I found these like at the very back of my dresser as I was like emptying it out because all of my furniture just got sold. I also incidentally have found like a bunch of random makeup that I thought was lost forever or which I had like donated, but that's like a video for another time. I'm gonna make that video like after I finally moved and I'm like sure I'm not like finding random things inside like random purses and like boxes thrown in the backs of closets. Anyway, this one, which is the Resist Weekly Retexturizing Foaming Treatment 4% BHA, is actually 100% completely empty. This, the Paula's Choice Skin Perfecting 2% BHA gel containing salicylic acid, has like about, you know, like 2 centimeters, like 3/4 of an inch of product left on the bottom of it. But considering that the last time I placed an order from Paula's Choice was like well over 2 years ago, and this is hella expired, I'm not even gonna try to use it up because it's just super ineffective. Personally, for me, I think Paula's Choice BHA products are it. In terms of formulation and performance, they work better for me, I think, than BHAs from pretty much every other company out there. There are many other realms of skincare where I have strayed far, far away from Paula's Choice and found better alternatives at price points and availabilities that are a better fit for me. Because I live in Canada, and in order to get Paula's Choice, you have to get it shipped from the United States and pay a bunch of like duties and stuff. However, in the realm of BHA products, I still think she's queen. My absolute favorite Paula's Choice BHA products are the liquid exfoliants. There are actually 3 of them, and I've used all 3, and I have loved all 3. This, on the other hand, the Skin Perfecting 2% BHA gel, this really ain't it, chief. The fact that I never even finished this all the way up is indicative of what I thought it felt like. The main problem that I have with this 2% BHA gel is that it's very, very sticky. Like, there's a little bit of it left in here, and so I tried it out a bit before just to confirm if I was remembering it correctly, and I was. It never really seems to dry down. Like when it first comes out, you're thinking, oh, this is not gonna be sticky at all because it's like gliding really smoothly over your skin. But if you give it even just like 10-15 seconds, it suddenly becomes very, very tacky. And that textural issue is why I just absolutely would not recommend this. If you're looking for a 2% salicylic acid product, go for either the liquid or the cream. Don't go for this gel. This 4% weekly retexturizing foaming treatment though, this is actually really good. And it was absolutely worth the price for me back when I got it. And using this once a week on my forehead, nose, and chin, just the areas of my face that were very, very oily and prone to like closed comedones and clogged pores went a long way in keeping my skin clear. I don't think I'll have the opportunity to repurchase this at any point during my no-buy year because I am only allowed to have one BHA containing product at a time. I didn't give myself the luxury or the space to have two, like an everyday 2% salicylic acid plus a weekly 4% treatment. But this 4% BHA acid was actually very good at making sure that my skin stayed relatively clear and that I didn't have, you know, any like bumpy or rough texture going on in my skin. Now let's transition on to the Empties, which actually required repurchases, so to speak. So I only have one black liquid eyeliner. It's this one from Essence. It's the Essence Super Last Eyeliner in Waterproof. I've had it since before my no-buy year started. I'm a person who uses liquid eyeliner pretty much every day. I don't always do like a cat eye or a dramatic wing line. A lot of the time I'm just adding a very thin black line right along my lash line to give a bit of definition and open up my eyes. Black eyeliner is an everyday staple. And the thing about black eyeliner is that there's actually a lot of black eyeliner out there that isn't really black. It'll turn into a slate gray color because it's just not pigmented enough. Lots of really hyped up eyeliners like the ones from Stila and Kat Von D are just not black enough to actually look black against my own skin. One of the reasons why I actually really loved this Essence waterproof eyeliner is because this was under $5 and it was truly black. Like, it was just effortless, it was really easy to use. My one sort of small gripe with it is that if I had it on my skin for a while, it tended to sort of almost break a little. The eyeliner would still be there, but you'd almost be able to see like a crack in the line towards my inner corner. I don't really know if what I'm saying is being properly conveyed to you, but it's almost as if like a ceramic or something dries out and there's like a tiny little like crack in it. And it's not like maybe the most noticeable thing in the world, but as a person who wears eyeliner all the time and for whom like eyeliner is a staple of my look, it did bother me enough that when it ran out, a part of me was thinking like I should try a better eyeliner to see if it doesn't give me that same result. If I try something like more expensive and the exact same thing happens, then fine, maybe that's just my eye. The geography of my eye causes eyeliner to crack. Since this was my one and only liquid liner and it's completely run out, like it's like you gotta like scrape at this to get anything to sort of show. I went out and I got this Too Faced Better Than Sex Easy Glide Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. It's what's currently on my eyes right now. You saw it in action. Actually, you did not see it in action in my last Get Ready with me because I turned off the camera to put on eyeliner because I can't talk and apply eyeliner at the same time. I am liking it so far, and from what I can see, at least for the 3 times that I've worn it so far, it hasn't given me that like weird cracking effect. Now, I haven't worn this for like a full 9-10 hour day yet, so we shall see. The jury's still a little bit out, but as of right now, like this is definitely performing a lot better than this one. This lasted me well over 6 months and it's under $5. I'm very curious to see how long this, which is in like a pen format, will last me in comparison, because this is not a cheap eyeliner. I will say that if you are on a drugstore budget and you are looking for a black waterproof eyeliner that is really, truly, genuinely black, this Essence one is very good. Like, I would give it like a solid 7.5 or 8 out of a 10. The second set of Empties for which I repurchased a thing were 2 nail polishes. So one is actually my Seche Vite top coat. I've thrown away the bottle already, but I took a photo and a video of it before I chucked it out, and I'm gonna insert it right here. Basically, I've had that Seche Vite for a very long time, for like, I think something like 8 months, a year. I don't even know how long I've had it. Whatever was left on the bottom of that bottle was almost like congealed into a solid by the end. So I threw away that bottle, bought an exact replacement of it, which I unfortunately did not bring because I'm adult. But that Seche Vite top coat truly is like my staple top coat. I've talked about it at length before in my March favorites. The great advantage that it has is that it really, truly, genuinely dries very, very quickly. And I can paint my nails at night like 10 minutes before I am going to sleep and still have my nail polish looking perfect the very next day without any like press marks, scratches, anything at all. The second nail polish that kicked the bucket bucket this month is this. It is my OPI nail lacquer in Dim Sum Plum. This was the only pink nail polish I own. It's the one that I have had for years and years and years now. I bought this bottle of nail polish sometime in 2014 and I've been using it every single spring and summer since then. It's my only pink. And unfortunately, this month is the month where it ran out. It's just like a thick gloop now. The texture that it currently is right now, the sort of stringy gloopiness of it, this is after I added nail polish remover and acetone to thin out the texture so that I could wear it on my fingernails one last time. Give it one last hurrah. It was actually much more solid and goopy when I initially opened it up this month to put it on. Okay, so my battery died. I charged it for like 10 minutes, which means I have very little battery left, so let's wrap this up. OPI is actually the formula that is the most tenacious on my nails. I paint my nails once a week when I do a sheet mask. And OPI has the formula that on my nails, my pH, body temperature, whatever, does not chip for an entire week. Unfortunately, I cannot find this color anywhere. Like the place where I would usually go to pick up OPI nail polish, this place called Trade Secrets, does not have this color, Dim Sum Plum, in stock. I don't know if it's been discontinued, I don't know what's going on, but I basically just ended up taking this to the drugstore with me and walking around with it, and within like a minute I had found a pretty much an exact dupe for it. And that's this Essie nail polish in Big Spender. As you can see, they're the exact same color. It's just by a different company, different formula. Essie to me is ranked number 2 in terms of formula lasting pretty well on my nails. It's not quite as tenacious as OPI, but it'll do. Speaking of sheet masking, since I only paint my nails while I put on sheet masks, I actually used up 4 different sheet masks during the entire month of June and July. One of them you actually saw me use up. It was the BT21 Mediheal Point Mask. That was in my trying out new K-Beauty video that I'm gonna link up in the cards. Another one I already threw away the packaging for. It's the Real Nature Olive Sheet Mask. It was fine. This one is by Etude House. It is the Lotus sheet mask. I talked at length in, I believe, my April Empties video about sheet masks and how I like to use them. I basically use them as a relaxation tool like once a week to spend a little bit of time to myself and add a boost of hydration to my skin. The Real Nature and Etude House masks did a great job at that. The Mediheal mask, the one that was a point mask with characters, that was just like a fun little novelty, as you could tell from that video. This is another Mediheal mask. Unlike that point mask, it's a normal sheet mask, and this is their IPI Light Mask Ampule Mask. This was done in collaboration with, I believe, Line Friends, and so I'm going to insert a picture of me wearing the mask because it's a totally normal sheet mask, except that there's a cute little bunny rabbit from the Line Friends emoji like on the cheek. It's very cute. It's very hydrating. That's mostly what I'm using it for. And Mediheal is just one of my favorite sheet mask brands. The final like 2 empties aren't really empties at all. First of all, I'm getting rid of this Body Shop Born Lippy Lip Balm. It is clearly not empty. There's clearly still a bunch of product in here. And actually, if I put it up to my nose, it still smells like raspberry, which is its flavor. However, on the back of this, it says 12 months. Like it has that little open container that says 12M inside. That means that after 12 months of opening it, you should throw it out. I bought this lip balm in 2013. I remember buying it because it was when I was still living in my first year university dorm. This is well over 12 months old. I don't want to put it on my lips because it's been open that whole time. I've put my fingers in it, I've put my lips in it. I don't even know what kind of bacteria is growing in here. And so I'm gonna let it go. I have about 1 billion other lip balms because I'm like a lip balm hoarder, so I obviously don't need to buy another lip balm, but this one is exiting. The last empty that isn't really an empty is my Boscia Subaki Beauty Oil. I'm going to insert a picture right here that shows you the fate of my beloved Boscia Subaki oil. It met a very, very untimely death on the floor of my bathroom because its bottle was glass and it fell from a great height, the height of my counter, down onto the floor and smashed into a gajillion tiny little pieces. The Boscia oil was primarily camellia seed oil. In Japan, that's called Subaki, hence it being called the Subaki Beauty Oil. It was a pretty good oil. It absorbed decently quickly into my skin. Like it definitely absorbed a lot faster than oils like argan oil. Moreover, the oil was mixed in with a whole bunch of other essential oils, one of which was lavender essential oil, which meant that I really couldn't use it during the daytime because lavender essential oil is actually phototoxic when it encounters UV rays, which means if you use products that have lavender essential oil on your skin during the daytime and they're exposed to sunlight, it actually really severely and badly damages your skin. I had used up roughly like 1/4 of the bottle before it met its untimely death on my bathroom floor, but what I had used of it was pretty decent. Would I ever have repurchased that oil again? Absolutely not. Because I'm trying to move away from things that have essential oils in them because they can be sensitizing towards your skin. It was good while it lasted, and that bottle will be missed. I have a whole bunch of other face oils, so still no repurchases necessary, but a moment of silence for Miss Boscia Subaki oil, if you will. So my battery did die one last time. Took a break, charged it, ate some pani puri. My tongue is on fire. It was so spicy. Also, it's raining outside, so it looks almost dark, and I'm all out of empties. All of which is a sign for me to wrap up this video. If you stuck it out with me all the way to the very end, thank you so much for watching. As always, I hope you have a great upcoming week. And even if your upcoming week ends up becoming messy or imperfect, I hope that you're still able to create and experience some truly beautiful moments. Bye!